here at Phoenix MMA in Bournemouth with the wonder kid himself, Jake Clarke. This is the guy who, the art of fighting without fighting, this is the art of fighting and not getting hit. This is the master right here of this. He's a protege of the great Phil Norman, Phil Gladiator Norman. I have to say that, but contractually, because he's trying to downplay the fact he was like, has he ever mentioned he's been on Gladiators?
We try not to mention it.
Yeah, it's the thing that should be unspoken, yeah. But sorry, I'm not, until you get me Jet's phone number, and then when I get Jet's phone number, then that's it. Right? It will never be mentioned again. So Jake, how old are you?
21 years old.
21 years old, look at this face, come on, have a look at that. Right, and I'm 27. Yeah. What's the secret? Not getting hit?
Not getting hit.
Not getting hit.
Ghost is the secret.
Ghost is the secret. So tell us, first of all, how did you start training? What got you into martial arts?
What got me into martial arts was, well, when I was younger, I was always a little bit smaller than everybody else. So just like a lot of people, just wanted to be able to defend myself.
Yeah. And what did you start off in?
Just regular kickboxing with Phil. I've always been with Phil from the age of 10.
And was that part of the Game Over fight team? Was that around that time?
It was around that time.
Yeah.
It was around that time.
See, Phil, still got the hoodie as well. Yeah, I tell you what.
Me too.
I tell you what, it's a timeless classic. It'll come back. It'll come back. The blue and black, or the black and blue we used to call it. Yeah. No, it was really good. But there were some tough cats around there in those days.
There was.
Some seriously tough individuals. Tony Pears, Woody. Oh man, these grown men. So were you training? Because I remember you coming up.
Unfortunately, when around the time when I was kind of coming up, everybody started kind of going out. I think I was always a junior as they were competing, fighting, training. Yeah. A lot of the time I was still in the kids class, but then working my way up.
Working his trade. One thing about Jake's one of the only, believe it or not, this is brutal. You're gonna be embarrassed now. Jake's one of the only martial artists that I've ever had enough faith in that I've actually got him to give my son privates, because I should be. But my son Charlie loves you, doesn't he? Yeah. Chaz is a great kid, and Chaz is exactly the same as you. He loves to fight, but he's like, don't want to get punched. He doesn't want to get stuck into it.
Why would you want to get punched? Why do you want to fight and get punched in the face?
Yeah, you see, this is the new generation of martial artists here. We think it's smart, that's why I've got a hearing aid here. I thought it was a smart idea. So you've been around, right? And as I remember how it worked. Phil always says, I've got these two young kids, and I don't know if it works or not. We're going to try anyway. But you were the first, because you were the first martial artist, because X was not a martial artist, was he?
Not at the start. X came from a background of playing rugby. X had no martial art experience. Myself, I trained in just regular kickboxing, got a black belt under Trevor Ambrose.
Jesus,
so I had 5 years, 6 years of kickboxing under my belt just before I started the transformation into what is now Ghost.
Yeah. Because you had we talked about it before with Phil, but you had a dalliance at K1, and then they found out medically what you've got.
Yeah, medically, when I was 15, I got diagnosed with celiac disease, which is like wheat and gluten intolerance. And for 15 years, I was undiagnosed. So what happened was, it kind of did its damage, and a year later, I became a type 1 diabetic.
Wow.
So for me, taking leg kicks and potential blood clotting was...
It isn't worth it.
It's not.
But people don't understand those hematomas. They think they wear them like a badge of pride, and you go, that's dead blood, coagulated. A list of your accolades by using Ghost right now. You won. What did you win recently?
I've recently just won the Novice ABA Under 20 Fights Championships.
That is awesome. The plan, Phil tells me, is Olympics. Is that right?
Olympic dream.
Olympic dream. You're going to go for it?
I'm going to go for it.
Well, we need you as a sports personality of the year, because Tyson Fury's not making it happen, is he? I think you'd be a better guy.
I don't think he is.
No. Certainly not.
I like Tyson Fury. He's funny.
Yeah, he is.
He's a funny guy. He's a crack.
He is.
He's a crack.
He's a very, very amusing individual. I don't know whether or not he's... I don't think he's going to have much of a shelf life, but he could be a good stand-up comedy. He's going to be all right.
I agree.
Yeah, he's good. It's good. How are you going to make this happen?
Yes. Well, I've just won, like I said, the Novice Under 20 Championships. That puts me in good stead for this next competition, which I'll be coming up against England squad, GB guys, and if I start beating those guys, start making some noise, turning heads. And
you see, this is results speak for themselves, but people don't want change.
No, people don't want change.
And because I know there's been a little bit of controversy on some of the wins, not because you haven't won conclusively, but it's because you get these purists who go, why is he going to stand there and mix it, and all of that nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, it's so far out there that, for example, you get your people that have been watching boxing for years and years, and when you come out with something a little bit different, something that they don't know and they can't really grasp. So for them, it's what's he doing that? Why is he moving that way? Why is he not?
People fear change. Yeah, people fear change, don't they? That's it. They do fear change. So statistically, right? When it's famously now, if you look on YouTube, you'll see there's some footage of Phil Norman getting horrendous at the gathering. Like guys, it was great because everyone's like, whoa, wow. And Al Peasland, you were chatting to Al for quite some time there, right?
Yep.
And Al, if you're watching, I'm nearly as famous as you now, mate. Almost. But I don't have Red Bull behind me. I just have the dream team right here. But thank you, Will. Thank you, Anne. But he was saying to me, he goes, he's awesome. He goes, but I still can't get over that little kid voice. And he just can't get it. And I know that you must get some grief over that, right?
I tell you what, it's been the best weapon. I turn up rocking up fights and people are like, oh, I'm fighting him with that guy, that 12-year-old looking kid, and I'm just like, oh, all right. And then
but when you're 40, everyone's going to be, they'll be like, what, he's mid-20s, isn't he? You look like shit. How did this work out? But it's very deceiving, isn't it? I think you're a great advert for the guys, because X is awesome, but
X looks like a fighter.
X looks like a handful. He's like, if you had to write down what you need for a fighter, he's it.
He looks the part. He trains hard. And
he does. He's ruthless as well.
When you first see him, especially if you watch him train, he's quite intimidating.
He is. He's something else, and his movement's really good. One of the things that I like more about you guys than anything is that breaking the line at the end where, boom, 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 you batter the guy and then you break the line and it's like, God, this is where the real ass whipping comes in. Because that's, you know what I mean? Because it's that one bit where you turn off and you go, this is the bit where they're really going to, you thought that was bad, he's really going to get battered now. And it is mad, it's crazy. Do you do any other sort of training or is this it?
No, so all goes training, well it's got to be specific. I mean for me, I compete in boxing, I train ghost, because when my style is ghost, that's what I use when I fight. It's no good me being able to run for an hour but not do 3 3s, 3 2s. I do the rounds, do the boxing. It's got to be specific to what you do. So
because this is the thing. What I'd like is I want some geeky individual to get a clicker and click how many times you hit to how many times you get hit, right? But because the thing is, a lot of people think
one hand will be busy.
Yeah, one hand will be busy.
Very still
but you see, this is the thing. It's because it's like people don't understand about just how offensive it is because people think that okay, he's not getting hit, and you don't realise this guy's getting smashed all the time. Because it was funny because I've seen it a few times. The Tribe Gathering is probably the best one I've seen so far. And when we do it later, I'm not Phil Norman, so do not punch me the way you were Phil. I don't want a matching hearing aid, right? But it was like everyone's going, I think Phil's going easy on him, and no, Phil is swinging for this guy.
And it is, for the record as well, Phil is feeding a style. He's feeding a regular boxing style. What I would come up against, that's his role. Whoever puts the helmet on is feeding the style that they're coming up against.
But you see, this is the thing. If you're watching this, you're not a martial artist. There's a clue in the title. It's WOMA, right? World Martial Arts TV. But for a lot of guys who aren't martial artists, they don't understand. I don't know what they have some contrived idea of what a fight is. They don't realise that the guy goes in there with a game plan. Yes, and there's plan A, and then there's plan A version A, 2. 3. Sure. It never really, so there's no way he's going to turn around and do a Shoney Carter spinning back fist or anything. There's going to be a certain feed to the movement. Yeah. But at the same time, if you do enough of those, then it can sort of change into...
you will study a fighter. If I know I'm fighting a certain opponent that loads to throw a certain thing, even if, for example, if Xavier's fighting MMA, it's a certain technique, a certain takedown, however, that's what we feed. For me, it's I come up against a very traditional boxing style, so Phil's not going to throw a spinning back fist against me. No. But with X, he would, and I throw spinning back fist against him when I'm feeding him. It's not
How
fun.
do you find it? Do you think that he's got more toys in the box than you have when you're doing it?
Has?
Yeah, if you're doing MMA, so if you're sparring him and it's MMA using the ghost principles, do you turn around and go, well, I don't have this, or do you just go, right, no, I believe more in the boxing and just punish him?
Well, I used to compete in the kickboxing as well, so I still can get my legs and my knees and elbows going. And I'm used for stand up. Obviously, I don't do the grappling, so he gets that from other people. But you know what I'm used for to help get him ready is the stand up side. So
yeah, you guys at the moment are on a tear. You're really sharp. It's funny because Phil, you're no way over the hill, all right? The last thing I want is Phil Norman kicking my ass.
He can still win mine and X's.
I would say
at the same time.
I still say now. In this weight category, I would put Phil in. I'd put Phil in the grappling tournament, no problem. And most MMA shows, by and large, I would say, he's a handful.
Yeah, it's quite scary. You know, the guy, Phil isn't training or puts most of his time into me and X, but when it's time for him to move, or even when he shows us a demonstration, he doesn't get a chance to train us because he puts all of his time into me and X. Even when he demos it, it's perfect. Or even when he does move with us or show us a certain thing, it's just effortless. Effortless. Me and X are.
How's he doing that? I work at this.
We train this all the time.
I think with Phil, it's just years and years and years of doing it, and it's so ingrained in him now. And not only that, he is the epitome of a real good JKD guy.
I think so.
You know, you can see that. Right, so this is going to put you under a bit of pressure now. You're going to like this. What's it? Yeah, no, it's going to be. Right, so Phil's rolling out the Ghost program, right? And you and X are the guys that it's sort of sitting on the shoulders
I know
of.
where this is going.
So no. What's it? Does it feel like pressure? To know that you're going, the Ghost program's now being sent out on the online system, right? And you look at the guys at the top because your success, especially on that, is going to be directly related to how you guys are getting on. Do you see that as extra pressure, or do you just
sometimes I feel like me and X are flying the flag. All eyes are on us, and they're waiting for us to go. I told you so.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? It's like, but I feel personally that it's proven. You look at the numbers between what me and X have done. I think
it's astronomical. It's scary.
Proven. It's proven.
Yeah. Well,
I don't feel like we need to prove it anymore.
Well, I tell you what it is. What I found recently by speaking to a few people is the guys who know nothing about it are ready to naysay it, and then the minute they say it, and then
put your gum shut in.
Yeah. That's it. Have a go. Have a go. Tell me. It's the classic. Sorry if any pressure point guys are out there or any no-touch knockout guys, but it ain't working. And the problem is, martial arts, you have this little thing inside of you called an ego, right? And it's like, you really want that to work. So when you're saying, I won't do it because it's too deadly, if you go into the UFC, you get chicks and you get money. And most martial artists, I don't know about you dude, and I'm a happily married man, by the way, chicks and money, trust me, you can still turn my head with that, right? But after the Olympics, right, we're just going to go foregone conclusion that you go in there and Anthony Joshua is like, forget it. After there, where would you go? Would you go pro?
Yes, after the Olympics, pro's the way. Yeah. So it's weird looking down. I kind of feel like I got the next 10 years in my head how it should go, hopefully, to plan.
No, it will. It should do. Because boxing, I don't know. Do you follow boxing a lot now?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. So what? Because it's changed a little bit now. Because UFC, bear in mind, you're listening to this, right? I was watching Joe Rogan. I'm after your shoes, man. Right? But Joe Rogan had Demetrius Johnson on, right? And Demetrius Johnson was saying that he got $14,000 to fight for a world title. $14,000. I tell you something. The guy carrying Mayweather's spittoon got more than $14,000, right? And it's now going to shift back. Boxing will always be the big. It will always be the big money, right? It will always be the main event. Even David Hayes talked about it for a while that he could have a dalliance in MMA. And from what I've heard, David Hayes, if you're watching this, I want to chat to you, right? As long as you take off that pimp hat, because I won't be able to stop laughing. Have you ever seen that guy's hat? I tell you what, man, the guy's awesome.
He can wear a hat right now. He can wear it. He's got some big throw going on. You know.
Could he not?
You can wear a hat right now.
Yeah, well, you might say that. Yeah, but you might say that. But you know, Rio Ferdinand. Do you remember when he had the cornrows? Do you remember this? Yeah. And then I can't believe it. I know this is an aside, and you don't want to. You don't want to hear about my coiffeur stories, but he literally unleashed the cornrows one day, and he looked like Eddie Gordo. Do you remember Eddie Gordo from the Tekken? No? You remember Eddie Gordo, right? What was that? Was that Tekken?
Yeah.
You don't know who Eddie Gordo is? I tell you what, this is an age thing right now. Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Eddie Gordo was like the coolest. He was the coolest character in the Tekken. He was like a Rastafarian that did capoeira, and then if you unlocked it, he ended up being a disco diva. He had the big hair and he was kicking ass, man. He was super fly. He was unbelievable. So David Haye couldn't wear a hat, but pro, and you're going to go
pro boxing.
Go the whole hog.
Yeah, go the whole hog. I got to make sure I do well in the amateurs first. Get everything I want to get in here.
That's it. You don't want to be a journeyman, do you? Who wants to be that? Who wants to be that beluga? Right. So, and what are you going to do when you win the world title? You're going to turn around and say, "Phil Norman, this one's for you." Is that how you're going to do? Maybe do that. Help me out here. Come on.
Just like
see, he's a natural. He's a natural, right? No, so, what would drive you more? Success, vindicating the Phil system, yourself? What is it?
Yeah, it's got to be all of it. It's got to be personal. I've got to want to do it for myself. Of course, I want to do it for myself, but I want to do it for Phil. I've been with Phil since I'm 10 years old. It's nearly it's like 11 years now. So I've
over half your lifetime.
Yeah, it's over half my lifetime. I've only ever been taught by one guy. So ultimately, when I achieve everything, it's all down to it. Everything I've always got is always because of Phil. So I'm super grateful.
Phil is first of all, he's an awesome guy. He's like awesome coach. Awesome, he was an awesome athlete in his day, you know, and he's probably one of the most self-effacing individuals I know. He knocked out a friend of mine with a savate kick, and you must have seen it. It's on the highlight reel, right? Tony Summers, who's a great guy, awesome martial artist, and he literally hit him with a savate kick, knocked him clean out. And it was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that if I wanted to. You know, he's just unbelievable. Are we looking good?
We've probably got about 2 minutes before kids.
2 minutes.
So just bear that in mind and
no worries.
Do a wrap up and then we can also have something else on.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Right. You won the Olympics. You won the world title. What's after that? And don't say chicks and money because we've already covered that one.
When I find out.
You'll tell me.
I'll tell you.
I'll be the first. I'll be the first to know. I'll be the first to know.
I've got that fire.
I'll tell you what. What do you reckon? Do you reckon that? I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up now. When he knows, he knows.
I know. I'll tell you. Thank you very much.
See this. This is Jake Clarke. See that there? That's the face of a champ, right? And in years to come, hey, come on. Nah, he's a great guy. Come on. Be like that. Jake is awesome. He's a great advert for martial arts, great advert for boxing, great advert for Phil, a great advert for himself. And it sounds really cliche, but a great advert for his generation. You know, isn't that what martial arts is supposed to be all about anyway? I don't know. High five me, baby. There you are. I shouldn't be high fiving. I'm 47 in January. I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, I'm trying to.
28.
Yeah, I was. Well, I don't know. Look at the way I'm dressed. I'm dressed like Tony Hawk's dad. I look like a skateboarder here. My wife actually, you're like this. Well, keep this in, right? My wife turned around to me when we came back from London. She said, "If you're going to be hanging around with these TV types and media types, we're going to have to smarten you up a little bit." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, the combat trousers and every T-shirt's got jiu-jitsu or Thai boxing on it." And I was like, "That's me." She said, "No." And I went, "I don't think you understand what these guys want." Yeah, they don't want a smart guy. Yeah. They want a guy with a hearing aid with a bit of pugilistic dementia that stutters a lot. That would be me. I tell you what, don't get shots in the head because you will end up like moi. Yeah. So look at that. And look at this. This is the best hair right now in martial arts, bar none. This young man here is questioning this. You're not saying it, no? Good hair? Yeah, that was a nod. That was a non-verbal clue right there. That was a nod. What about mine? No? Oh! Well, I'm gonna get you.